Hi there. My name is John Stevens. I'm pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where I take a look at the lectionary text and I tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree or the junk drawer or the kids' room or the garage. You know how we've been doing it. Or don't, maybe you don't. That's how we've been doing it. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your week with me in this way. And thank you for the love that you are sharing with your kids and your congregation and your families. You are rocking it. Thank you. Thank you for your partnership in this ministry. All right, this is for the first Sunday in Advent. Notice how I in Lent, I'm like, is it in Lent or of Lent? And it's in Lent, but this is the first Sunday of Advent. These Sundays are part of the time that we gather together, and this is the first Sunday of Advent. It is where if you have an Advent wreath where you light the candles, we light the hope candle, that first candle in Advent, and we look at that, and it ties so well into the first reading out of Jeremiah. So if you want to go that direction, that's the first springboard. You can talk about in Jeremiah we have the hope that we hear this and we hear this. There's just hope, and I don't want to say just. There is hope in this text that God is doing a good thing. And as we hear this text out of Jeremiah, we go, yes, there's the promise that God makes. And so that's the hope candles. We light that and we have hope. So that's the first direction. Second direction is the second reading out of 1 Thessalonians, talking about the joy that Paul has received from the people in Thessalonica, in this congregation, the joy that they bring. So the connection, the springboard for that is a church directory, and all of the ways that that the people in your place bring joy to you. If there's a particular person that you would like to highlight, this is a wonderful time to lift up. You go, yes, that's the joy. So part of the joy that I feel for this week as we're moving in, this is the week that I celebrate my 25th anniversary of ordination. December 5th, 1999, I was ordained as a pastor in the ELCA, and I tell you what, at that point, if you would have told me that I'd be looking back 25 years later and going, I still love this thing, and I probably would have felt that way then, because it'd be like, this is pretty darn amazing. But yeah, 25th anniversary, and the joy that I have in my heart, and all of the people that I could list that bring the joy. And I will do that on the 5th of December, listing folks that have helped my journey and my growth as a pastor. And I appreciate you all as well for taking part in this. Some of you have been with me from the very, very beginning. And the very beginning is before Dollar Store Children's Sermons. It was when I did Magic 316, which was a blog that I tied gospel presentations to a magic effect. I didn't teach the magic effect. And from all I know is Andy Arnold, if you're watching, praise to you, because Andy will bring that up to me every now and then, and so I really appreciate that. Anyway, I digress. But that's joy in my heart about celebrating 25 years of ordained ministry, and the joy that all of the people that I've been able to connect with and continue. So look forward to connecting with so many of you. The extravaganza in January, and the Byberg Preaching Conference, and right after that, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, but I digress. Well, actually, that's not I don't digress, because that's part of all of this, the joy. So that's the second reading in Thessalonians, the joy that Paul has received from the congregation, and the joy that we feel. And I was thinking about either a church directory or ways that you might lift someone up. So there's that. The gospel reading and that connection, looking at the reading, it's that whole. We're in Advent, where we're looking at, not only are we looking at the coming of Jesus in the manger, but we're looking at the second advent of Christ, the coming again of Jesus, and that we are looking at ways that we are that there's awaken, that we watch, that we pay attention to what's happening. In the gospel lesson, it says, look at the fig tree. When it has buds on it, you know that something's happening. And so we can look at, what are the ways that we know that Christmas is happening? What are the ways that we know that Jesus is present here? And we can talk about bread and wine. We can talk about the waters and baptism, that reminds us that Jesus is present in this place. We can talk about the whether you have blue or purple. You can talk about the change of the paraments, the colors of the church year. You can talk about the candles, the ways that you can see that something is happening in this place. You can talk about your alarm clock that keeps you awake or that wakens you up, that all of that's happening. So all of those directions. And then the connection, the through line is, how can people, when they see us, experience Jesus? And when we are called to treat people with love and compassion and inclusion, and reminding that people belong in this place, way beyond what I think about it, but it's about what Jesus says. Jesus said, you belong here. And that is, and then when you're out and about, and when you are treating people with love and compassion and grace, that is a way, and they might not even know it, and they probably don't, but when they see you, they know, and they can feel in their heart love, and they can feel in their heart kindness and grace, and that is a way for the love of Jesus to ripple out, that ripple effect of all of that. So anyway, lots of stuff. Joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Anyway, down in my heart to stay. So much stuff in these texts. I love Advent. It is one of my favorite seasons. If I didn't, I haven't talked a lot about it. I've shared some video, but I have an Advent devotional that you can get. This year, it's you can get it through Amazon. I had copies, but it's to get copies, author copies. It's a little late now. You can get it through Amazon. Next year, I'm actually in the process of writing one for Lent again, and the Lenten one will actually be available through myself and through Lulu, another publishing place, and the cost is comparable and all of that. Anyway, so Grace-Filled Beginnings is the Advent devotional, but all kinds of stuff. So thank you again for the love that you're sharing with your kids and your congregation and your families. You, my friend, are rocking it. And we will see you next week for the second Sunday in Advent, the second Sunday of Advent, as we light the next candle. All right? Peace. See you then.